In a world where the powers of the dormant demon lord created dungeons all around the world, and adventure parties live stream their dungeon runs, Yuke is a mage and a member of a rank party named Thunderpike. All their members are strong, and they easily clear all the dungeons they enter. However, not everything is well with their teamwork once they are outside of the dungeon. Yuke feels like he is not being paid fairly for his work, and after a successful mission, he tells his party members that he is going to quit Thunderpike. The party leader Simon and the other members tell him to stop being such a whiny because he doesn't even join the fight and just stays in the rear, burning through their items and scrolls. They claim that they will be fine without his little support, and that is the final nail in the coffin. Yuke finishes his drink and then declares that he is going to quit the party forever, and they can go and shove their rank tag up their butt. The next day, Yuke goes to the Adventurer Guild to register himself as unemployed. Just as he finishes filling the form and hands it to the receptionist, a redhead hoe suddenly lunges at him and hugs him tightly. She calls him teacher, and when Yuke sees her, he recognizes her as Marina, a sword mage whom he guided before she took her adventure test. Marina thanks Yuke for helping her earlier, and he asks how things are going for her. She tells him that everything is going well, and then learns that he is on the job market right now. Marina gets really excited on hearing that, and this thirsty bitch immediately asks Yuke to join their party. Yuke goes to meet with her party members, who were also his students along with Marina. The Elf Ranger Silk and the Priestess Rain are both glad to hear that Yuke is interested in joining their party, but they ask him if he is fine joining a D-rank party that is just starting its career. Yuke tells them that he is fine with that because hustling like a rank parties is not for him anymore. He says that for difficult quests and dungeons, he used to invest a lot of money in consumable items, so he didn't earn much. But with D-rank quests, he will be able to save a ton. With that, Yuke officially joins their party, and learns that the girls were planning to complete a quest to mine some magic iron ore today. They head to the dungeon to mine the magic ore, and Yuke feels nostalgic remembering how his journey began. He tells the girls that they can easily find the magic ore on the 6th floor of the dungeon, but they tell him that they are afraid of fighting the boss monster on the 5th floor, so they'll pass. Yuke suggests they can try looking for the ore on the 4th floor first, and they head into the dungeon. Marina has brought her grandpa's walking stick along to search for traps, but that is slowing down their pace, so Yuke decides to take the lead. He shows the girls a magic lantern that can easily detect any low-level traps, and because of that, they quickly explore the dungeon. Yuke begins recalling how this was the first dungeon he visited along with his former party Thunderpike 5 years ago, and their warrior was seriously wounded by the traps. Suddenly, he senses a monster and tells the girls to get ready to fight. They reach a room where wolf monkeys are waiting for them. Silk shoots down one of them quickly, and then Marina rushes ahead to deal with the other two. Yuke casts physical enchantment magic on her to greatly improve her abilities, and then snares the monsters to stop them. Marina easily cuts through the two monsters, and she is shocked to realize how easy it was with Yuke's magic. He tells her that he cast 3 types of enchantment spells on her at once, and everyone is impressed because doing 3 spells at once needs a lot of skill. Soon, they reach the entrance of the 2nd floor, and after checking their equipment and stamina, they head downstairs. Suddenly, a group of zombie miners attack them, and it is Rain's turn to deal with them. Silk and Marina try to fight against the zombies to buy time for her to finish her incantation, and Yuke casts a protective spell on everyone so that the zombies can't even come close. This gives Rain enough time to complete her spell, and she blows away all the zombies with her holy magic. Everyone starts praising her, and Yuke remarks that using holy magic on such a scale costs a lot of mana. He uses a skill called Refresh Mana on Rain to charge up her mana reserves, and she is astonished to learn that Yuke can use it. She tells her friends that it is a rare spell that only red mages like Yuke can use, and with just this spell, one can instantly be admitted to an A-rank party. They are all amazed, and Yuke tries acting down to earth by saying that he is nothing special. They walk ahead, and he keeps pouring holy water on the ground so that the zombies don't attack them after being revived. Silk thinks that it is going to be really expensive, and they don't have the budget for that, but Yuke tells her to relax because he brewed it himself. This shocks Rain because Yuke is not even a priest, but he replies that he can use the purified ashes of the zombies to make holy water using alchemy. Soon, they reach the 4th floor, and Yuke says that they can find the magic ore on this floor. But before going any deeper, he wants everyone to rebuild their stamina by eating something. For that, he pulls out a whole ass stove from his magic bag, which makes the girls excited. Yuk tells them that if they work hard, they can afford their own magic bag someday. He begins cooking egg and bacon for them, and then pulls out a magic pot that magically creates seafood soup for them. The housewife inside Rain gets wetter than the soup itself on seeing a pot that cooks food itself, and Yuk says that he found it in a high-level dungeon and it cost a lot to be repaired. After that, they start eating, and Silk notices that the food has extra mana. Yuk tells her that cooking is basically alchemy, and he put extra effort to empower them for mining the ore later. Soon, they find a giant rock lizard which has mineral ores on its back. Yuk slows it down with his magic, and then Marina uses her ultimate attack to kill it. She is really exhausted by using her ultimate just once, but Yuk replenishes her mana and tells her to keep practicing the skill. After that, they begin mining the ore on the defeated monster's back, but they need more, and Yuk suggests that they go to the 5th floor and defeat the boss to get what they want. The girls are afraid because the boss is a tough monster, but Yuk tells them that he will use his full power to help them. Once they reach the boss room on the 5th floor, Yuk tells the girls that he will fight alone to show them his skills. He then takes out a floating camera artifact to record the gameplay of the boss fight, and Marina suggests that they should livestream it cause it will be fun. Yuk decides to YOLO it, but then he asks the girls the name of their party to tell in the broadcast. They nervously tell him that they haven't thought of a name yet, but then Marina comes up with the name Clover on the spot. She says that the 3 girls are the ordinary leaves of the clover, and Yuk is the 4th and the lucky leaf. Everyone likes the name, and then Yuk asks the girls if they also want to feature in the first live stream of their party. They are fine just watching him, so Yuk enchants himself and then activates the live streaming mode on the camera. After that, he opens the door to the boss room and heads inside to see the giant ugly steel crab. The crab attacks him instantly, but Yuk slips from its claws and then uses 5 disabling spells to blind, poison, and paralyze it. The crab tries to attack indiscriminately, but Yuk just uses gravity magic to crush it instantly. He ends the live stream with that, and Marina immediately hugs him, almost breaking his bones in the process. Yuk then puts the crab in his magic bag, and they open the treasure chest that dropped after defeating the boss to find a ton of treasure and magic ore. After that, Yuk and his party head back to the city in a carriage. He acts polite and asks the girls how do they rate their new party member on a scale of 1 to 10. All the girls are really impressed by his overall skills in the dungeon, but Yuk thinks that they would be uncomfortable to see someone who is older than them suddenly become a party member. The girls tell him that it is not like that at all, and suddenly, Silk has a brilliant idea. She tells Yuk that he should become the party leader because he is the most experienced and powerful out of them. Yuk is flustered because he doesn't think it is right for a newcomer to become the leader, but the other girls agree, saying that their party was officially formed when they decided to name it Clover, and that makes Yuk a founding member. When the girls keep on pressuring him, Yuk finally folds and agrees to become the party leader so that he can keep everyone safe. On the other hand, his former party, Thunder Pike, is having a hard time in the dungeon. They have got an archer to fill Yuk's place, but he can't support them like Yuk used to. They struggle against a pack of monster wolves, and even the newcomer throws shade at them, asking why the hell they came to such a high-level dungeon if they are so weak. Suddenly, the witch gets bitten by a wolf, and though the party leader manages to free her, the priestess doesn't have enough mana to heal her. The party decides to retreat immediately, and as the witch lies bleeding, the priestess is still waiting for her mana to recharge. They don't have mana potions or even healing potions because that used to be Yuk's responsibility, and none of them thought to pick it up after he left. The new guy has a healing potion, but he doesn't give it so easily because he expected a rank party to have better management. Meanwhile, Yuk and his party are celebrating their first mission's success. As they drink, Yuk tells them that the reward from the quest was nothing special, but he got a lot of money from selling the corpse of the steel crab. He asks the girls about the division of money among them, and Silk tells him that they put everything in the party fund and use an allowance system for buying necessary things. She explains that they are saving money to buy their own house one day, and Yuk likes the idea. At the same time, his former party is at the same inn, and they are griping and complaining about their failure today. They blame it all on the new guy, saying that he should have been prepared better to help them. The archer gets pissed off that they are treating him like an errand boy, and says that he never thought that the famous rank party would be a bunch of sisses who can't even wipe their ass themselves. He tells them that he is quitting their party immediately, and Yuk turns around just in time to see it. He doesn't want to give any attention to his former party, so he tells the girls that after every successful quest, they will take 2 days to rest and recover. He says that he will stock up the useful items in the meanwhile, and they can head to another mission on the 3rd day. Suddenly, the inn begins to display the livestream video of Yuk defeating the steel crab that has gone viral within half a day. Everyone is interested in Yuk and his party because he defeated a boss monster with just debuff spells. However, this pisses off his former party members who think that Yuk is playing in the lowest league to improve his KD ratio. Turns out they are not the only people jealous of Yuk, because a fat and ugly noble is also cursing him from afar. Anyway, 3 days later, Yuk reaches the guild to pick a quest that is easy enough for the girls, but gives a good reward as well, and the receptionist suggests him a C-rank quest to get magic stones from a waterfall. She says that it should be a D-rank quest, but some strange monsters are roaming around the region recently, so it has become more difficult. As Yuk is in the middle of thinking about it, the girls come running there, and they agree to take the quest without even asking about it. Only after the receptionist leaves to register the quest does Yuk get a chance to explain that they may have to face a monster during the quest. The girls still decide to take the quest to earn more points and money. Yuk tells them to get ready and meet him in 30 minutes, and then the receptionist comes with a receipt of the quest. She tells Yuk to livestream his quest fights because he has become a minor celebrity after his last livestream. He leaves the guild with that and immediately senses someone following him. He leads the stalker into a shady alley, and it turns out to be the jealous ugly noble. Yuk asks him if he has any business with him, and the noble pulls out his sword, telling him to leave Clover immediately. Yuk uses a snare spell on him discreetly, and then asks the fatty if he is out of his mind for telling the leader of the party to quit it. The fatty tells him that he found the girls first, and he will join their party to become their sugar daddy. But Yuk thinks that he is just a junkie who has had too much magic shrooms today. He refuses to leave the party and walks away, and as the noble tries to attack him, he trips on the snare spell and knocks himself out. Once Yuk joins the girls to go on the quest, they tell him that the fat incel had approached them a few days earlier, and he offered to join their party like he was helping them out. However, his skills were mid, and they decided to ignore him since he wasn't taking no for an answer. Yuk also thinks that the guy must be dumb if he can draw his sword so casually in the streets, and he decides to report him to the guild once they return. After that, Yuk brings up the topic of their quest, and says that while the quest is really simple, they may have to deal with some wild beast-type monster. The girls tell him that they have been to the area around 2 months ago, but they didn't face any monsters back then, and there were no ordinary animals around either. The second part worries Yuk, and he says that the only reason all animals run away from the forest is because of a strong monster. He tells the girls that the monster was present in the forest that time too, but they were lucky enough not to encounter it. He says that as soon as they reach the forest, he will start recording everything, and if they run into the monster, he will live stream it. It will be the best if they win, but if they lose and have to run away, he wants the video to be live so that the guild can see them and send help on time. Soon, they reach the forest and Yuk starts recording as they walk inside. He walks at the end of the group because wild beasts attack any group from behind, and tells the girls not to worry about him because he is wearing a special warlock armor that gives him very high defense stats. They reach the waterfall soon, but then Yuk senses something and immediately turns the live stream mode on. Just 1 second later, the monster terrorizing the forest comes out, and to Yuk's horror, it is a high-ranking monster called the Zarnag, which is found in the deepest level of high-ranking dungeons. Everyone panics on hearing that, and Yuk steps in front of the girls. He tells them that they need to escape immediately, because they will die if they fight against the Zarnag. He decides to stay back and stop it till the girls reach safety, and the guild sends backup. But suddenly, Marina draws her sword, telling Yuk that she isn't leaving him behind. Silk and Rain also agree with her, and they begin using their abilities to slow down the monster so that they can kill it. Yuk has no choice but to let them in on the action, so he first enchants their physical abilities. Marina rushes ahead to stop the monster while Rain chants her spell, but she gets slapped away. Yuk tries to stun the monster with lightning magic and then casts multiple debuffs on it, but despite that, it doesn't seem to slow down. Yuk realizes that it is a special monster, and he asks Marina to buy him some time so he can use a very powerful spell. Marina begins fighting against the monster, and then Silk calls the forest dryads for help and binds the monster with vines. As the two girls try their best to stall the monster, Yuke finishes chanting his tier 5 spell, Prismatic Arrow. He tells Marina to get back before he shoots it at the monster with devastating power. As the prismatic arrow hits the monster, it groans in pain, but nothing more happens. Yuke thinks that he failed to do any damage, but as the monster charges towards them, a black liquid starts coming out from all its holes. The monster seems weakened by his attack, but it is still strong enough to attack them, so Rain decides to finish it with a powerful magic attack. She uses the tier 5 spell Thunderbolt to hit the monster, but despite that, it doesn't go down. However, Yuke realizes that the monster has been stunned by the strong attacks it took, and this is the perfect chance to finish it off. He tells Marina to go ahead and kill the monster, and she dashes towards it, activating her ultimate skill just as Yuke enchants her sword to land a critical hit. The monster's head falls into the river as the sky clears, and it releases a fountain of blood. Everyone is relieved at this, and then Yuke remembers that he was live streaming this fight. He thanks all the viewers for watching the fight till the end, and then ends the stream. The video is an instant hit in the city, and the popularity of the Clover Party rises further. But the leader of Yuke's former party is pissed because of that. Meanwhile, Yuke is feeling dizzy after using too much mana in the fight earlier. Behind him, the girls are excitedly chatting about their fight, and Yuke thinks that this video will give their careers a huge boost. He approaches them, congratulating them for the successful mission, but adds that he is going to spank them for not listening to his orders earlier. The girls confront him, saying that they are going to lecture him too because he was planning to sacrifice himself just now, and they won't have allowed that to happen in any case. Yuke realizes that this is a 1 versus 3 match and he can't win against the girls, so he says that they will review the mistakes they made later. Soon, they reach the lake where they are supposed to complete their mission, but the girls get in the mood for a swim. Yuke tells them to take a dip in the time he sets up camp. As he hears the girls happily splashing around, he remembers how he was training them to be adventurers just 6 months ago. He kept telling them about the ways in which they could improve themselves and their party, but he always had the feeling that they would make a great team. He is still surprised by the fact that he ended up in the same party as them and thinks that life is too uncertain. A few days later, Yuke and the girls are summoned by the guild master, and the girls are anxious about the meeting. Yuke believes that the guild master wants to talk about the high-level monster they defeated in the forest, because a dangerous quest like that should not have been given to a D-rank party like them. He thinks that normally, any guild master would praise them, but he knows the old man in charge of this place is not normal. Just then, Guild Master Benwood arrives there, and he immediately confronts Yuke, telling him that he has really done something troublesome this time. Yuke tells him that it is not his fault, and Benwood sternly asks him to tell him the things that he didn't mention in the report. His tone scares the girls and Yuke lashes out at the old man for intimidating them. However, that was what the guild master was waiting for, and he tells Yuke that he should have stopped talking politely earlier if he wanted him to stop acting scary. Benwood then sits down and tells everyone to take a seat too. He asks Yuke to answer his question now, and tell him what he thinks about the monster that he encountered in the forest. Yuke tells him that the signs point to it being an overflow, but not the one you will find on Anime. Benwood grows concerned on hearing that and tells the receptionist to generate an investigation quest. Meanwhile, Marina asks Yuke about overflow, and he explains that it happens when a catalyst causes monsters to come out of dungeons. If things get worse, it can lead to a stampede in which a huge army of monsters destroy everything in their path. The girls are worried to hear that, but Benwood tells them that the guild will handle the investigation. He then bows down to the 4 of them and apologizes for putting them in danger. The girls are taken aback by that and say that they were fine because Yuke was with them. The old man says that he watched the stream and he thinks they are quite skilled too, which is why he is going to promote them to C rank. The girls are delighted to hear that, and then Benwood turns to Yuke to give him another good news. He is being promoted to a rank because the prismatic arrow spell he used during the fight is a new spell he created, and all the guild officers believe that he should be promoted. Yuke can't even process what is happening, but Benwood brings out the promotion documents and tells him to sign it. Later, Yuke and the girls go to the guild inn to celebrate their promotion. Yuke hands over the earnings from the mission to Silk, who finds that the amount is much more than she expected. She stacks the gold coins to count them, and at the bottom of the pouch, Benwood has left a platinum coin as an apology. The girls are excited to see the platinum coin, and then Silk says that after adding today's earnings, they have enough money to buy their own base. They begin drinking and eating to celebrate this special occasion, and then Rain asks Yuk about his dream as an adventurer. He tells her that he dreams of challenging the last floor of the dungeon named Infinite Darkness, and that makes the girls spit out their drinks because that dungeon is said to be ridiculously dangerous. Yuk says that it is true because the final floor of the dungeon holds the Abyss Gate that leads to the underworld. He says that he has no plan to cross the Abyss Gate, but he wants to see it with his own eyes. He tells the girls about his uncle who was a great adventurer, and he challenged the final floor of Infinite Darkness dungeon and saw the gate. Even though he could not clear the final floor, his stories inspired Yuk to try it someday. Marina likes the idea and tells Yuk that they should go to the dungeon soon and livestream their fight. But he tells her that it is not so easy. First, they need to be in a rank party, and on top of that, they need permission from the government to even enter the dungeon. The girls get fired up on listening this, and they promise Yuk that they will grow stronger so that one day they can challenge the dangerous dungeon together. Soon, the Clover party embarks on another mission, and they live stream their fights as always. While Marina fights on the front lines, Yuk guides her and protects everyone with magic barriers. Silk uses the vines to tie the monster down, and then Rain attacks it with a powerful lightning spell. To finish things off, Yuk uses a magic scroll to unleash a rock magic on the monster, killing it. The livestream is well received by the audience, but not by Yuk's former party, Thunderpike. They are jealous of Yuk's success, but more than that, they are concerned about their downfall. They blame it all on the new members who join their party, calling them useless. Moreover, the wizard of their party has been avoiding going out with them lately after she was injured, and she is starting to fall behind when they go on missions. They think that maybe they should get Yuk to join their party again, because when he was with them, they didn't fail their missions so miserably. They think that they should cut the payment of the wizard girl because she is becoming useless and give a bit more money to Yuk so that he doesn't have a problem returning to their party. Meanwhile, Yuk and the girls return to the city from their mission, and they are shocked to see Thunderpike's leader Simon waiting for them at the door. Yuk is taken aback to see him, and he tells the girls to go and report to the receptionist while he deals with this. The girls go inside quietly, and then Yuk asks Simon what the hell does he want. Simon invites him to talk over a drink, but Yuk refuses, saying that he is tired because of the quest. He begins walking inside, but Simon stops him, telling him to come back to Thunderpike. Marina and others are eagerly listening to this conversation from the other side of the door, and they get worried as Simon reminds Yuk about their long-lasting friendship and their dream of challenging the Abyss Gate together. He says that Yuk will need to be in a rank party to even try that, and that is why he should rejoin Thunderpike. However, Yuk slaps his hand away, telling him that he is the leader of Team Clover and he is not going to leave them. This pisses Simon off, and he tries gaslighting Yuk into taking the blame for Thunderpike's failure after he left. However, Yuk tells him to grow up and deal with his problems like an adult. He goes inside the guild building with Simon yelling that he will regret it, and this commotion draws the attention of the ugly Fatso who tried to attack Yuk in the past. Meanwhile, Simon finds the girls really anxious about the conversation, and when he assures them that he is not going to leave the party, Marina hugs him so hard that he feels his bones crack. He somehow manages to push her away, and then they go to have drinks together. Soon after that, they get a quest from a popular armor shop called Earthy's. Yuk tells them that the shop is launching a new theme focusing on women adventurers, and since their party is 75% women, they have decided to pick them as the poster girls. The three girls will get high-quality armor from the shop, and the shop can use the video of them clearing dungeons to promote itself. The girls are surprised to hear this good news, and they find that they will get the armor for free, and on top of that, they will also be paid for completing the quest. They get really excited on hearing this, and soon their party goes to the city where Earthy's shop is situated. While Yuk waits in the market, thinking about the time he came to this city with his previous party, the girls get their new gear. They soon come running to show their new drip to Yuk, and he starts his blood flowing down to his third leg. He then tells them that instead of live streaming their fight, this time, they will have to hand over the recording to Earthy's as per the quest. He starts recording, and then his party enters the dungeon. Yuk tells the girls that this dungeon is only 4 floors deep, but its lowest floor has the gate to a bigger dungeon, and their quest goal is to reach the second dungeon. They come to an open space inside the dungeon, and Yuk picks a stone and throws it down to show the girls that a distortion in space doesn't allow anyone to take shortcuts here. He asks them to be careful that they don't fall down the stairs. While Marina and Silk agree to him immediately, Rain seems to be upset with Yuk, and he doesn't even know what he did wrong. Marina and Silk tell him that he didn't pay enough attention to Rain earlier because she is flat like the earth, and Yuk immediately notices the new ribbon around her hair. He tells Rain that she looks cute because her ribbon matches her hair color, and this needy hoe gets flustered and immediately hugs him. With that, they get down to the next floor of the dungeon, and Yuk soon detects a trap using his magic lantern. He pokes the trap with his grandma's walking stick, and suddenly, spears pop out of all four walls. They pass through the gap between the spears and soon encounter the first monster of the dungeon. It is a group of orcs, and Silk furiously draws her bow because elves hate orcs like Christians hate gays. Yuk tells her to calm down because her anger can break their formation, but assures her that they will completely wipe out those ugly monsters. He assesses that the orcs look like low-level soldiers, but they look more organized than he expected. He tells Rain to charge up a powerful magic attack to hit all of them at once, and then tells the other two girls to get ready to finish the ones left at last. Yuk casts enchantment magic on everyone, and then Rain shoots a powerful fire attack at them, burning the orcs. Next, Yuk uses a magic scroll to crush them with heavy rocks, and Silk supports him by shooting the orcs. They manage to take down two of them, and the remaining two orcs rush towards them. Yuk uses paralysis debuff to slow them down, and then Marina charges ahead, using her ultimate move to defeat one orc. Silk shoots the other orc to keep it busy in the meantime, and then Marina attacks it too, splitting its head open with one strike. Yuk goes over to the dead orcs to collect their magic stones, and he asks Silk if she has calmed down now. She apologizes for getting tense on seeing the orcs, but Yuk understands that it is a part of her elf DNA. Silk is happy to hear this, and just then Marina comes there with a damaged scroll she found with one of the orcs. Yuk finds that it is an artifact that can reveal hidden abilities of an adventurer. He says that they can't use it right now because it is damaged, but he can repair it with his alchemy skills. He tells the girls that one of them can use it instead of selling it because it will enhance their talents and maybe even unlock a new job class. Both Silk and Rain tell him that he should let Marina use it since she has only one job class. As Marina is daydreaming about what job she will get, a treasure chest suddenly appears before them as a reward for defeating the orcs. Later, as they take a lunch break, they find that the treasure chest had a magic bag inside it, and everyone decides to give it to Rain because supporters like her need it more. After that, they head to the fourth floor of the dungeon, and Yuk tells the girls that the entrance to the second dungeon used to be guarded by a boss monster, but it has been many years since one was last seen. The girls ask him more about the boss monster, and he tells them about the Shadow Stalker, a monster that appeared to be made from pure darkness. Marina spots something exactly like that in the distance and asks Yuk if he is talking about that, and he is stunned to see that there is a real Shadow Stalker in the dungeon. He focuses his camera on it because Shadow Stalkers are really rare to find. He thinks that the Shadow Stalker won't reach them quickly because no one can just jump down from a higher floor. But the boss monster decides to prove that he is built different. He jumps down and shatters the invisible barrier that prevents anything from taking a shortcut. Yuk panics and realizes that they have no choice but to fight. He immediately pulls out a scroll to cast multiple enchantments on the girls, but the boss monster sends a dark wave towards Marina, shattering her barrier and knocking her out. While Rain heals her, Yuk and Silk take a stand against the Shadow Stalker. Yuk charges at it, and as the monster destroys his barrier, he understands that it can destroy magical shields. He uses an illusion spell to distract the boss monster with a clone while he reaches behind it, and then puts 3 offensive enchantments on his sword to attack. However, just as he is about to hit the boss monster, it uses a curse spell to completely freeze his body. Yuk realizes that this monster is really strong and intelligent, and they have no way to beat it. He wants to tell the girls to run away, but his body is frozen and he can't even utter a word. The girls panic on seeing their leader being taken down, and then the Shadow Stalker sends a dark storm towards them. Rain blocks it with a holy shield, and then Silk summons strong vines to attack the boss monster. It dodges everything and then attacks Silk from behind while Rain is busy trying to revive Yuk. Luckily, Marina is back in action. Silk takes the command in Yuk's absence and tells Rain to enchant Marina's sword with Holy Element. Rain does that, and Marina tries to attack the boss monster from up close, but it keeps dodging everything. Rain uses a wide-range spell to attack him, but the boss disappears and then appears near Marina and Rain, injuring them with his sharp claws. Next, he uses powerful magic to shoot dark magic beams at the girls from all sides. But just as all hope seems lost, Yuke comes back to his senses.